Hello, everyone. First, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out and for being here. Today is a remarkable day. I am proud to be announcing that as of today, my first book is being published. I remember when I first wanted to be a writer, and to think at one time I thought that to be impossible. Impossible because it was never what I was supposed to do. I would never consider Mango Street to be a home, but instead a neighborhood of dreams. Countless people had hopes and dreams, but never thought that they were possible. I remember these three sisters who I spoke to once when I was growing up on Mango Street. Looks like it's going to rain tomorrow.
It will.
How do you know?
We know. Make a wish.
There, that's simple. It'll come true.
You must remember to come back.
What?
When you leave, you must remember to come back. A circle? Get it? You will always be you, Esperanza. You will always be Mango Street. You cannot erase what you know. You can't forget who you are.
You must remember to come back for the ones who cannot leave as easily as you. Will you remember?
Okay, I will try. I wanted to talk about the journey to get to the book. Everyone knows I grew up in Chicago in a poor area on Mango Street. And across the street was this big mama. Everyone knew her as Mama Sita, and Mama Sita is the mama of the man who lives across the way. Mama Sita longs for a home, but the man she lives with says Mango Street is her home.
You're a whole new generation. You're dancing through the day. You're grabbing some of magic on the run. You're a whole new generation. You're loving what to do. I put a Pepsi in the motion, but that choice is up to you. Hey, you're the Pepsi generation. Girls are down and taste the thrill of the day.
Feel the Pepsi rain. To this day, it breaks my heart to think of Mama Sita and her son. This was a situation in which she was not able to do anything. Growing up in a Spanish environment and learning English can be difficult. I can say that from personal experience. It's not easy, but luckily for me, I learned how to speak English from school, but unfortunately for Mama Sita, it wasn't that easy. Being a Hispanic, Mexican American is difficult. The typical tradition is to depend upon your husband, care for the children, and to look outside the window. When I was younger, I strongly admired this young lady who went against the tradition to get an education. She must really want a better life. I know I want a better life. I want to be like Alicia, the one who sees mice. I don't want my mom to die and me take her place like Alicia. She is always carrying her bags and books to and from school, from bus to train. I want to be motivated. Alicia was such a strong young woman, and I really admire her. She did what she wanted despite everyone in the community telling her not to do it and giving her shame for it. When I was little, I always talked about this house I wanted, one away from Mango Street, one I could point at. And for years, I had been searching for a home, and not once did I ever consider that the one I lived in the longest to be a home. It seemed so far away back then, but now things are finally coming true. I used to dream that my house would be so big that I would let people stay in the attic, although that is frowned upon.
The new house suits you well, Esperanza, dear.
Thank you, Mother. The dinner you made was delicious.
Those must be some very big rats in the attic to be making that much noise.
Oh no, don't worry. Those aren't rats.
Then what on earth could have made that noise?
Did you finally get a pet?
Not at all. Bums. Kinda silly now that I think of it. Growing up, we were really poor and we went home for lunch because we lived so close to the school. But the kids that did not live so close got to eat in what they called the canteen. I always wanted to eat in there, and one day I realized I just didn't fit in. Mom, please. I want to eat with the kids who wear the keys around their necks.
I will write a note and make you a rice sandwich tomorrow, but only this once. We don't have much.
Yay!
You don't need to eat in the canteen. I can see your house from this window. You can eat here today, but never again.
I didn't like Mango Street. I wanted to be free of it. But I loved my community at the same time and they wanted me to stay. So I decided to compromise. And so she trudged up the wooden stairs, her sad brown shoes taking her to the house she never liked. Not bad. One day, I'm leaving this place. Everyone will wonder where I marched away with all my books and paper. If only they knew. If only they knew that I was coming back for them. I'll never forget this place and the people I'll leave behind. So, what's the point of this speech anyways? What am I getting at? I wanted to tell each and every one of you to always follow your heart and do what you want, even if that's not what other people want you to do. You can come back. I will go back for Mango Street and help those who I left behind. I love Mango Street and I will always be a part of Mango Street. Just sometimes you gotta say goodbye. If you come on the side of George, you can easily go above because we only get half the book in this.
That's perfect.
Oh,
I was like, Ron, just look like that. You can see it. And then I realized, haha.
What proudly we hail at the...
George, put the dog on. George, come on.
I'm sorry, my arm.
You said let me try and be Esperanza.
You don't need to eat in the canteen. I can see. Oh. Make a wish.
You need to move your puppet wand.
And then, oh no, you need to be closer.
If you can, back up from that as far as you can.